Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlimli. We're on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, Trade Union Congress up in arms against government over the imposition of 15% value-added tax on electricity consumption, more as the umbrella labor organization holds a crunch meeting amongst union leaders to find a way forward.
Worker, even those who are not workers but who pays electricity, are calling for this very meeting. So this meeting is consisting of all workers of this very country, that's TUC and its 22 affiliates and organized labor.
Also this afternoon, TUC joined strike by Senior Staff Association to mount pressure on government to demand improved working conditions while protesting delay in their Tier 2 pension payment. We're live in Lagos to gauge the impact of the strike. Plus, prominent South African politician, founder and leader of the economic freedom fighters, Julius Malema in Ghana, to speak at the Arise Ghana dialogue. We have details of his visit to Ghana and more. In sports, politics and lack of financial management should be blamed for Ghana's abysmal performance at the AFCON 2023. Those are the observations of football pundits who say Ghana can never make any meaningful impact if these challenges are not checked. We'll hear from football administrator Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo on this, plus hear from some disappointed Ghanaians. We have business, sports, showbiz, and world news coming up shortly. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter Spaces via JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Nana Aisha. Please do stay for details. The Trade Union Congress says it remains hopeful that a government's planned imposition of a 15% value-added tax on power consumption above lifeline level will not see the light of day. The umbrella body of all labor unions in Ghana is this afternoon holding an emergency meeting to discuss the way forward on getting the government to reverse its decision. Speaking to JoyNews' Blaise Soga ahead of today's engagement, Deputy Secretary General of TUC, Joshua Ansa, lamented the country's workforce is already overburdened with taxes, hence a need for government to reconsider its decision. Has also been giving details about what to expect from the meeting.
The attempt of introducing a new tax, that is the VAT, on the electricity bills for Ghanaians. Workers are already suffering. Workers are already tired of paying any tax. So this meeting is going to head this morning to show our resistance to the introduction of this tax on the electricity bill.
Is it the case that your grassroots members have been calling and agitating for this meeting?
But every worker, even those who are not workers but who pays electricity, are calling for this very meeting. So this meeting is consisting of all workers of this very country, that's TUC and its 22 affiliates and organized labor. The TUC, NATs, NAGRATs, nurses, doctors, pharmacists, and all the workforce in this very country are attending this very meeting.
In all, how many groups are we expecting to be a part?
About 22 plus, about 35 strong registered organized labor group, including a forum.
Many would say that the revenue measure has not been imposed yet, and that you should maybe wait. Government might change its mind. Why do you still want to hold this meeting?
My brother, there's no honeymoon this time around. Ghanaians and workers are already suffering, and we want governments to be up and doing and ensure that they are voted into power to fix the problem. So they should be ready to ensure that they're elevated from our already suffering situation.
At the meeting today, are you expected to vote on a certain way forward, or what will happen?
No, there's not going to be any vote. This is a straightforward matter. It is a tax which we don't want it to even see the light of the day, because it will increase the plight of workers in this very country. So it's a no-go. But I think that the meeting itself will make that decision. I'm not the one to make that decision. That is why all the leaders are meeting. Then whatever comes out of that, you'll be a witness to it, to Ghana.
If there's a message from TUC to the people of Ghana and also the workforce, what would that message?
Oh, Ghanaians should exercise patience. We know already they are very enthusiastic in helping developing this very country. I will urge all workers to continue doing their part to develop this very country. But anything that also comes to actually increase their suffering as leaders of this country, we will not allow that to happen. But we are all partners in development of this very country. Anything that is good, you support it. Anything that is also not good, you will resist it.
And just the final bit, we know that the VAT is not the only issue happening on the labor front. Will you be looking at other issues that will come up at this meeting concerning labor?
Yes, any issue, we believe in discussions. We believe in consensus building. We believe in being part of the discussions. If we reason with any good thing that will make this country grow for all of us, why not? But anything that will also bring hardship to the people of this country it's our role and duty to ensure that the right thing is done to the workers of this very country.
Meanwhile, the Electricity Company of Ghana says it is yet to commence implementation of the value-added tax on electricity consumption. The company says it will need further clarification from the Ghana Revenue Authority on how to proceed with its implementation of the levy. Leila Abubakar is External Communications Manager for ECG.
So the value-added tax announcement that came into effect in January has appalled a lot of our customers. The truth of the matter is that we haven't started implementing it, even though that letter says that it should have been activated in January. The reason being, we still have to understand how to implement this tax. So we are having active conversations with the Ministry of Finance, with the Ghana Revenue Authority, and with other stakeholders who have also brought their concerns forward. So for now, there's no value-added tax as announced included in residential tariff or residential customers buying electricity. For now, it's still the old status quo. We've maintained an active engagement with our stakeholders, who mostly comprise of the power generators, to have them on the same page with us in terms of payments. I think since last year, our revenue generation has increased, and we found a way of ring fencing or having an agreement with the IPPs to hold on to the legacy debts that we owe them. But we are very up to date with the current bills that come to our desk. We try as much as possible to pay off those debts so that they can also function as business.
Leila Abubakar is External Communications Manager at ECG. Let's talk about the TUC strike. And on the KNUST campus, pupils of the school have resorted to self-learning to keep busy. The local chapter of the association says the strike will continue due to government's failure to meet their demands following a meeting with the Labour Commission. My colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweko has been monitoring this and has more.
Few days into the industrial action by the University Senior Staff Association, the impact is telling on the KNUST campus. Members under the association took to the streets of the campus and thronged the administration office to vent their displeasure. Basic school teachers, security and library personnel and other administrative officers have abandoned their duties in demand for the restoration of their overtime allowances and payments of Tier 2 pensions. Nana Bediako Baye is the secretary of the Senior Staff Association at KNUST.
Our demands are also very important to us. We have to balance work and whatever we get from the work, and that is why we are on strike. Yes, we know that most of the teachers at the KNUST Basic School are currently at home. We know the security personnel are currently at home. We know the library staff are currently at home. We know that most of the departments, the workers there who are senior staffs are at work. What we are saying is that the government should listen to us so that we go back to work as soon as possible.
Academic activity is almost grinding to a halt at the KNUST Basic School. Teachers at the school have abandoned classrooms with a few national service personnel and other casual workers at post.
So on any ordinary day here on the KNUST Basic School campus, you would find a lot of cars parked here at the parking lots for the school. But today, unfortunately, we are seeing only a few of them around, just some 6 cars or so. But ordinarily, you should find a lot of cars. These cars belong to the teachers who are under the Senior Staff Association here on campus. According to the Senior Staff Association, until the government heeds their call, they will not be going inside the classrooms to teach. But today, when you go inside, you only find the casual workers and even the national service personnel who are taking over.
Josephine Akpenyo is a teacher and the Women's Commissioner of the local chapter.
You know, the situation at hand, there's nothing one can do about it. So that's what is happening. But I just felt for the learners in the class. But what can we do? We are on strikes. Because now we have, I learned they have the casuals there. They are just about a few. Yeah, and they can't take care of these children. So even today we are announced that all staff, they should take their children off the school, because if something happens to the children, we cannot be held responsible. So I believe from tomorrow, the number will reduce.
The local leadership says if the government fails to meet their demands, it will be forced to withdraw its members at the university hospital, which is presently in operation. Nana Baye again.
We have not closed down the hospital yet. The university hospital is still running. And if by close of the week we don't hear anything from the government, we are going to withdraw all our staff from the university hospital as well. All the nurses are senior staff. Okay. We have the lab technicians who are also senior staff, the sonographers and the rest, they are all senior staff. With the exception of the senior pharmacists and then the doctors who are not senior staff. All the other workers are senior staff.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Let's now go to the University of Ghana, Legon, to gauge the mood of the impact of the strike there. My colleague Kenneth JC is monitoring events there for us. Kenneth, what can you report from the University of Ghana? Hello, Ken. Can I just see if you can hear me? You're on air. Can you tell me what's happening currently at the University of Ghana? There seems to be a connection problem with Ken's line. We'll try and get him back, but the Teachers and Education Workers Union will say they will be forced to shut down lecture halls and prevent students of the University of Ghana to write the exams if government does not address their concerns. The Senior Staff Association of Legon Branch and TUC were earlier stopped by the police for supposedly demonstrating without police permit, a claim the group has denied. And Kenneth Botry is TUC chairman of the Legon branch. Hello, Ken. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, tell me what's going on at the University of Ghana as we speak. All right. So it's there's a problem. They will try and get him back on the line to tell us more on what's happening on the Legon campus. We're hearing that one person has been arrested in that clash with the police. When we get Kenneth Jesse, he will be telling us more of that. But let's get on to prominent and controversial South African politician Julius Malema, who is attributing Africa's developmental challenges, including those faced by Ghana, to a departure from Dr. Nkrumah's values and an excessive focus on privatizing key state assets. In an exclusive interview with JoyNews' Maxwell Agbagba, the founder and leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters stated that a corruption-free, state-led development approach with less emphasis on privatization is the solution to the continent's woes.
Economic emancipation of the land of Africa, not only in Ghana. The democracy in Ghana is very old compared to other democracies in the continent, but the means of production are still owned by those who previously colonized us. And how do we go beyond that? Because political freedom without economic emancipation is meaningless. And this type of engagements seek to ensure that the people of the continent are aware that if we stand divided, only the imperialist and colonialist forces stand to benefit. The unity of Africa is a threat to the enemies of Africa.
A lot of the issues you've been speaking against in South Africa are prevalent here. Issues of unemployment, issues of intermittent power supply, and all of that. How did we get here, and how do we get out of it?
Well, if you drift away from Nkuruma's principles of state-led development and you strategic sectors of the economy, you will never address the issue of unemployment, because the interest of business is to maximize on profit. And every time you privatize something that is strategic, the first victims of privatization is the workers. They remove the workers in order to maximize on profit. So if we have a state-led, corrupt-free development, then you are guaranteed to absorb as many people as possible, because the role of the state is not to make profit, is to generate sufficient resources to finance its social responsibility programs.
Let me take you back to the University of Ghana, Legon, where Kenneth JC is pitching camp for us. He has more on the current strike ongoing at the University of Ghana. Ken, paint a picture of what exactly is happening at the University of Ghana.
Right, Aisha, we are the University of Ghana, the Senior Staff Association, and the Teachers Educational and Workers Union continue their strike unabated. Today they have also announced that another group will be joining them very soon. That is the Ghana Administrators Association will also be joining them. But later, what appeared to be a demonstration was stopped by the police, because the police mentioned that they did not get permit from them to hold a demonstration, because they were holding placards trying to prevent vehicles that are entering the campus to enter, because today is also a graduation day for students of the University of Ghana, and they ended up, hitting one of the police cars, and then the police had to call for reinforcements. We had a little bit of scuffle with them. One of them has been arrested, but they insist that their strike will regardless continue unabated, and it is going to affect the lecture halls. They are going to close all of them down. As we speak now, the libraries have been closed. The students who are studying for exam will have to go to some makeshift classrooms to study, because they do not have access to the library. They've also closed some of the lecture halls. So some of the lectures of especially the level 100 students have had to be cancelled or being held online due to this, Aisha.
JC there with some updates from the University of Ghana on the current demonstration by TUC, and we've been telling you also how it's faring on the KNUST campus in Kumasi. Let's get to other stories. The Ghana Water Company says Ghana's population has outgrown the quantity of water it supplies. This has resulted in the shortage of the commodity in some parts of Accra and the central region. In Fadama, the situation has compelled some residents to spend more on water for their household chores, while others are left with the option of relying on unwholesome water sources. More in this report by Sweetie Abuchi.
Now, many parts of Accra have been hit by shortage of water. Here in Fadama, we are trying to have an accurate assessment of the situation on ground. We are told that not only is this affecting the running of homes, but the running of businesses.
It's affecting us very much, because the water, it's been 3 weeks now, almost 3 weeks. We've not get access to pipe water, but for the sake of wells around, we are okay when it comes to this area, and people are even taking advantage of selling them, which is bad. So we need the Ghana Water Company to help us. It's really bad.
You said your mother sells water. The business in this house is the selling of water to the neighbors here. How bad has the situation gotten because there's no water running anymore?
Yes, due to this water problem, my mother has lost all her customers. 3 weeks now, my mother has not sold water. So the company that has been bringing the water also, they don't, even when we call them, they don't pick it because I don't know the reason. I'm sure it's because of the water, so the shortage of the water. So I think they should do something about it because she's old, 60-something years. She can't carry things around. She's at home selling water. So if this water situation is coming up, it will affect her very bad. She also wants to work. She doesn't want to be idle. So it's very bad. It's very bad. It's not good at all.
The people who sell water to you, are they selling it at normal prices or have the prices increased because of the shortage?
So far, they've not come yet, so we don't know. We don't have any knowledge about that.
Sherifa, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Ya brasa mumbi ensuri me na ye bre enye bula krank enye nsokran ye aduane ye bre pa nsuo na emba 2 weeks ni emba.
We are really suffering with the current water crisis. Life has been really tough without running water for 2 weeks. We buy sachet water to cook and use well water to bathe. We don't even have enough money to buy food, and now we have to find money to buy water.
All right, thank you. So I'm walking to the community, the elders in the community who are gathered right ahead of me. Now, although the Ghana Water Company Limited says this situation will be resolved by Wednesday, tomorrow, the citizens are not particularly happy about it because they have to buy water. You know, the economy is hard already, and then if you have to buy water, which is a necessity for everything, whether it's a home you're running or a business, you need water. So let's get to people now as they share their story with us.
So the situation grow. Water closet,
The water situation is terrible. We can't flush our toilets. We can't keep our homes and kitchen clean. We can't even bath well.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Company Limited says a reported water shortage being experienced in parts of the regions will last until the installation of new equipment is completed. A number of communities in the two regions have suffered disruption in regular flow of water. Others have been experiencing unannounced water rationing, leaving them in high demand. Speaking to Joy News, Director of Communications at the Ghana Water Company, Stanley Marty, said although new equipment have been procured to replace the worn-out ones, it will take some time to complete installations. He wants the public to store as much water as they can when the taps are running.
Anytime there's a fault, then we need to improvise or do whatever we can to put it back in. We wouldn't even get the parts. But fortunately, we had to import some from somewhere. And thankfully, yesterday we had it. Immediately we had put everything back, fixed it, and then we started full operation. So thankfully, we are operating full capacity in Bon, operating full capacity in Wager. The desalination plant is not giving us enough, but at least it is good to serve that tertiary enclave. We are augmenting that with some water from our thermal booster station. And so we are hopeful that by this weekend, the system should stabilize. The system should be fine from today or from tomorrow, but by the weekend, we should see that stability after a full rationing program. We are still running our rationing program.
You're still rationing water. In which areas are you rationing?
It's the entire Accra.
The whole of Accra?
The whole of Accra. Some people may have more number of days than others by virtue of their proximity to maybe our main lines and all that. So some will get like 5 days, some will get like 6 days, some will get like 2 days. Averagely, the rationing program is 4 days within the system.
That may explain why for over a week water has come through my end only once.
But prior to all these challenges, were you getting regular flow, or you were getting water on specific days?
Every maximum every 3 to 4 days.
Yes,
we would have every 3 days thereabouts. Now it's, so you can say you've added on another 3 to 4 days.
On your election headquarters, some constituencies in the Ashanti region are expected to witness an intense contest in Saturday's parliamentary primaries of the NPP. Over 120 candidates in the region will battle for slots in 41 constituencies where the party has majority incumbent members of parliament seeking re-election. Ahead of the primaries, Nana Boakye Adom puts a spotlight on the Adanse, Asokwa, Bekwai and Menchia North constituencies.
The new Patriotic Party's parliamentary primaries will be held across 41 constituencies in the Ashanti region. This includes constituencies with incumbent MPs facing stiff opposition in their quest to seek re-election, and constituencies where the MPs are retiring from Parliament. At the Menchia North constituency, the incumbent Member of Parliament, Akwesi Konedu, who has served one term in Parliament, is facing a tough contest against former MP Collins Owusu-Amankwa and 2 others. Akwesi Konedu says he's unfazed by the contest.
There is nothing like complacency in this game. Once there is a ballot, yes, I am going in full force as I did. And currently, you can see the constituency is united behind me. They would want me to continue with the work that I've started. And I'm sure you can see the delegates behind me. They are going to say what will happen on the 27th. And I know, inshallah, and by his grace, victory is assured.
But the former MP for the area, Collins Amankwa, says his quest to return to Parliament is a call from the constituents.
Wherever you go, people are craving for my comeback, that I should come and continue with the laudable projects that I was embarking on. Well, I think history is going to repeat itself because as we speak, after the balloting, 3 candidates have been certified by the party. And remember, mind you, we contested in 2016. I won, and surely I'm very confident. Having engaged the delegates, my message has gone down well with them, and I can assure you that victory will be mine.
In the Bekwai constituency, Joseph Osei-Wusu is opting out of Parliament after 16 years. This has opened the race up for 4 candidates, including retired Commissioner of Police George Alex Mensah and Raphael Lopoko-Dusay. For retired COP Alex Mensah, the delegates have received his
going to be elected as the
faith.
next member of Parliament for the Bekwai constituency. And so, 27th of January, what's your message to the delegates?
My message to the delegates, I've always been telling them that COP is coming to make sure that the whole Bekwai constituency, we all come together and fight and make sure that our party breaks the edge. I'm going to make sure that the Bekwai will continue to develop. I'm going to continue the good work that Honorable Jose also have been doing. I'm going to make sure that our young ones who are going to school, those who are learning handiworks, are going to be motivated to make sure that we find jobs for our youth who are coming up.
Ralph Pokwo-Dusay also has his eyes on the Bekwai seat. For his camp, the optimistic of victory.
We've met the delegates, that is the polling station executives. We've sold to them our views, our visions, our plans for them. And from their response, it speaks to us that they've bought into what we've told them. They appreciate the little that Lawyer Ralph has been able to do for them, and they are anticipating that should he become the MP, he will do more for them. So yes, they've bought into his vision and his plans for the delegates.
Adanse Asokwa constituency has 3 aspirants seeking to unseat incumbent MP KT Hammond, who has been in Parliament for 24 years.
Go to ask them if they know the constituency. Go to ask them what is it that they know about the constituency.
Lead campaigner for the camp of KT Hammond, Andrew Edubuahin, says their team is optimistic of victory.
We are not looking for the win. The win is guaranteed. The constituency executives and delegates know what is best for Adanse Asokwa. So the win is not an issue. What we are trying to do now is to give a percentage of votes whereby
Away from politics, the president has been responding to the GRA SML scandal. Let me give you updates of what has transpired with that so far. And the Ghana Revenue Authority has informed the president about the suspension of the contract with Strategic Management Ghana Limited as directed. So that's actually a response to the president. And after careful review, GRA believes the installed system crucial for revenue assurance and its ongoing investigation should continue running with the president's permission. GRA acknowledges the suspension will lead to revenue losses and highlights a gap in the control system and OMC's account update. It continues to say that despite the suggestion to keep the system running, the contract with SML remains suspended as per the president's directive. No payment will be made on the contract until further directive is received from the president. The communication aims at keeping the president informed about GRA's stance on the contract suspension and its commitment to cooperation while awaiting further guidance. And that's how we take a break on JoyNews Today. When we return, we'll bring you the very latest coming from the world of business.
Hello, good afternoon and warm welcome to the business segment on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. The World Bank is expected to meet later today and approve some $300 million for Ghana. The Washington-based lender is advancing this support for Ghana after the country managed to secure a deal with bilateral creditors and consequently completed the first review of the International Monetary Fund program. George Biafe reports.
Joy Business understands that the executive directors of the World Bank Board will approve and disburse $300 million to Ghana. Sources say Ghana has met all the conditions needed for this support to be advanced to the country. The World Bank Group is one of several donor partners that will in the coming weeks approve more support for Ghana after it passed the first review under the IMF program last week. Former country director of the World Bank has been outlining the areas the money should be advanced once it hits governments of Ghana's account.
Basically, cash going into your consolidated fund, and then, of course, the program spending is there in line with budget that's been approved by Parliament.
The World Bank will also, in the coming weeks, meet to approve some $250 million for Ghana. This is part of support with the Financial Stability Fund, established to assist financial institutions and commercial banks hit badly by the effects of the domestic debt exchange program.
The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority is poised to strengthen its relationship with border communities to improve trade facilitations and also strengthen security. The border communities have been identified as partners in government quest to increase trade among neighboring countries. Assistant Commissioner at Headquarters Sector Command, Eric Kweku disclosed this to Joy Business after a health walk to kickstart this year's International Customs Week celebration.
The celebration of International Customs Week is aimed at taking stock of various achievements by customs agencies across the globe and as well as reviewing some policy directives in the previous year. In Ghana, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority organizes stakeholder events and outreach programs to educate society on the work of the customs officials and to improve upon their work. As part of this year's celebration, the division organized a health walk to boost the morale of the officers. Assistant Commissioner at Headquarters Sector Command, Eric Kweku disclosed that border communities have become an important part of their activities, hence the decision to foster a stronger relationship with such areas.
Building relationship and fostering our relationship with border communities. Previously, we saw the border communities as smugglers, but now they are our partners in trade and trade facilitation. So they also give us information to curb smuggling and also deal with certain security situations. So this year, we have invited them to be part of our celebration.
This year's celebration is under the theme Engaging Traditional and New Partners with a Purpose. Eric Bonney has also been speaking about the role of customs in regulating the importation of goods into the country.
We examine the goods before they are admitted into the country. So if we don't ensure that unwholesome goods entered into the country, we are just endangering society. So the safety again is to ensure that we don't admit illicit substances. So illicit substances, we can call it drugs, we can call it weapons.
The health walk to mark International Customs Week was attended by selected officers across various sector commands of the division.
And that's all for business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Sports is next.
Let's do sports now on JN Today. My name is Harun Mbarak. Now, after the 2-2 draw with Mozambique, the Black Stars are on the verge of exiting the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, and some fans have expressed their disappointment at the performance of the team. Now, Anas Sabit was at Ivory Coast and came through with this report.
Well, it's all over here at the, Alassane Ouattara Olympic Stadium here in Abidjan. The Black Stars of Ghana, after leading by 2-0, had to concede 2 late goals, and that means the game ended in a 2-2 draw, leaving the thousands of supporters who thronged the stadium to throw their weight behind the national team disappointed. We come across a couple of them here behind the stadium, and we want to speak with them and have them share with us how disappointed they are at this particular 2-2 scoreline here at the Alassane Ouattara Sports Stadium.
We are very much disappointed on this game. I think Black Stars is becoming one of the useless teams in Africa. Black Stars is becoming one of the useless teams in Africa. What is happening? Why? All what is needed, the fans will be able to do it. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them?
Well, I'm very disappointed. The players didn't help us at all. Because having 2 goals, and we went to sleep, and then allowing the Mozambique to equalize the 2 goals. I think it is very bad. It is very bad. The players didn't do well at all.
The goal for us, so that at the end we qualify and win. That's what we want. We don't need any more goal. Like 2-1 is good for us. Now, show I
think that there's something wrong with Ghana Football Association. Ghana Football Association, as a matter of that controls football in Ghana, there's something wrong with our football association. Look, our local league is dead. Division 1 is dead. Division 2 is dead. After court, I don't even want to go there. How many of our local players are playing the Black Stars? How many? It is so sad. It is so sad. Hey!
This has been the unfortunate, scoreline here at the Alassane Ouattara Sports Stadium, where the Black Stars of Ghana considered 2 late goals to draw the game 2-2 with Mozambique. From the Alassane Ouattara Olympic Stadium here in Abidjan, my name is Anas Sabit, reporting for JoyNews.
That's your sports on JN Today. My name is Harun Mbarak.
You're welcome into the world of entertainment. My name is Ibrahim Ben Bako, and it doesn't look like Dr. Sonny Badio is in any way excited with the Black Stars of Ghana. So in a video he posted on social media, he's calling for the dismantling of the senior national team, Black Stars. He said he believes that they should be fired. This is stemming from last match in the AFCON against Mozambique.
First of all, I think the entire goalkeeping coaching staff should be fired. They should be fired. Richard Kingston I don't get it. There's Atizigi. There's the other guy. Atizigi went World Cup with us. He gained confidence. He's been very regular in his club. Why would you play Ofori over Atizigi? When you, Kingston, you know he lacks much fitness. I mean, go and listen to the pundits on Super Sport who are in South Africa. Ofori has not played one game. Sumosone number one. Also, the whole world was watching. This is lack of sharpness, on your sharp. And games Nina Ghost Nibi Ofori could have avoided it. What could we say? Coach, why would you take out Joseph Pencil? Why? Unless he was injured. I didn't obey in a free. If anything, I'll take Baba. The Baba guy was confused. Bring the day back there, keep Pencil, bring Nyoma in, just to keep them going or leave Pencil in. Again, the entire coaching staff were confused. The day's penalty, there's nothing we could do about it. We also got penalties on the other side. Now, Richard Ofori, you know you're lacking much fitness. As I was saying, go into team because the old boy ain't there.
Already there are a lot of conversations going on, even in the studio. This particular video has sparked a certain conversation in the studio. But in a world where time is money, concert attendees wield the power to instigate change. Well, the Promised Land event hosted by King Promise in December, that is every December, last year encountered certain substantial delays, triggering not only a wave of discontent on social media, but also the possibility of a legal repercussion. Well, during an interview on Hit FM with DJ Slim on the morning show, lawyer Adjo Patel shed light on the legal arena where trendy events can actually result in legal actions seeking damages and refund.
The stage is no longer a sanctuary for artists to keep fans waiting. Last December's Promised Land event by King Promise turned into a social media storm when the artist left fans in the dark, literally. With the clock ticking past midnight, the show finally kicked off. In an interview on Hit FM, lawyer Adjo Patel explained that leaving the venue when the event hasn't begun after a substantial delay grant attendees the right to pursue legal action.
In cases like that, they would have a right against King Promise because the show hasn't started. You have advertised, or we have a contract for our show to begin at 8. I wait till 12. The show has still not started, and I leave because no reasonable person would be expected to stay until 12 for the concert if it hasn't started by 12. A reasonable person can say that, well, if it hasn't started by 12, it's not going to happen. And so if in that case you decide to leave, you can bring an action against King Promise, one, to refund the money because he did not deliver. If let's say the concert is from 8 to 12, then at 12 you haven't come. 12 is the reasonable ending for the concert. And so if I am within my rights to leave and sue to recover the monies I have spent, and also for damages for breach of contract. The Promised Land scenario, those of the attendees who left before time could actually come together and sue King Promise if they wish.
However, she cautioned that those who endure the wait until the event starts lose their standing to sue.
Sometimes concepts are not just based on the starting times, but also on the opening act or the headliners. So, for instance, if I go to a concert that says Wizkid is coming, they haven't scheduled a time for Wizkid to come. The concert starts all right, and Wizkid never comes. But you keep hearing, oh, Wizkid is coming, and then the concert ends.
And that will bring down the curtains on what is happening in the world of entertainment here on Joy News Today. Back to you, Aisha Ibrahim.
Thank you so much, Ben. Ibrahim, for bringing us showbiz. And that will be it for the bulletin brought to you by the Ibrahims. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myzoneline.com for more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.